Good morning. Here we are. Last day of the week, last day of the month, last day of the year. Big day. Be careful out there on New Year's Eve. Some people use it as an excuse to be crazy. But hope you've got an exciting year planned, a year of growth, a year of growing closer to the Lord, of maturing, and knowing that we are 1 year closer to seeing our Savior return. And so New Year's Eve, there's something about the mind that New Year's is always an exciting day. It's like a new beginning. We get to start over, it seems like. And so I hope you've got a great New Year's planned. So let's dig in here. Back into the book of Proverbs in the 23rd chapter. We will be starting in the 19th verse. And this is a good word for New Year's Eve. It is. We're going to be reminded to follow and be obedient, to choose the wise path, to continue to follow the instruction that we have been given, to be obedient to the directives and the laws of God, not to be overcome by our own desires, but to continue on the road of righteousness. And so verse 19 says, "Hear, my son, and be wise, and direct your heart in the way." And that one statement in that line, you direct your heart. The heart has a tendency to wander. We have to take charge and be responsible for our decisions, our actions. It just makes my skin crawl. You see folks on TV sometimes whose life is a disaster, and they're explaining it, they're blaming it on something their mother or father did 30 years ago. No, you're grown. You're responsible. You direct your heart. Make a decision today that in this coming year, I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to choose the right path. I'm going to be careful of the road that I choose to travel. And here he gives us one example, and it's probably a really good example here on New Year's Eve, knowing how many choose to celebrate. Be not among drunkards or among gluttonous eaters of meat. Obviously, he's talking specifically here about drunkards, but I think we can take that, and the idea is even bigger than that. Don't associate with people who will influence you and lead you to make the wrong choices, who will lead you and cause you to be tempted to drink, tempted to act out on your sexual desires, or for your temper to flare up, or to lust, or to steal, or just to simply be greedy. Any of those things. Be careful. And that's one of the main lessons of Proverbs. If you think about what we've talked about through now 23 chapters, is how it continues to come up. Be careful of who you associate with. For the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and slumber will clothe them with rags. He says, when you choose that kind of life, when you choose that ungoverned, unwise, unrighteous life, a life that is characterized by a lack of discipline and self-control, when you do refuse to direct your heart in the way, he says that lifestyle ends in disaster. And what we have again here, along with countless other proverbs we've looked at this far, is the continual emphasis to us of constantly choosing the right path. I think about how when we're driving the car, as you drive your car down the road, you know that you don't just grab the steering wheel and hold it. As you drive, you're constantly making just kind of little course corrections. If you don't, you will end up, over in the wrong lane or over in the woods somewhere. You're constantly having to make just the tiniest correction. Probably all of us, whether we want to admit it or not, have had it happen. Maybe we have dozed off, or just maybe not paying attention, got to talking to somebody, and we come back and pay it and look up, and we're off the road, and we have to make a big jerk and jerk the car back into our lane. Well, what Proverbs is trying to teach us is to avoid that big jerk back into our lane, to constantly be correcting our life and adjusting so that we don't end up in the ditch or in the wrong lane. And he says we have to direct our heart. He's telling us that it is on us. It is not, we can't blame our friends, our parents, our spouse. We must govern, we must direct, as he says here, our life and keep our life on the right path. Think about that today. Have a good day. And I usually sign off by seeing you here tomorrow. But today I will tell you, I will see you here next year. Have a great day.